Okay, so I need to tell you about my favorite Victorian spiritualist medium, Mrs. Guppy. She was a huge celebrity medium of the 1870s. At one of Mrs. Guppy's seances, what you would experience was like a lot of other seances. You might hear rapping sounds that were supposed to be coming from the spirits. You might see people or objects levitate. But what Mrs. Guppy was famous for were apports. An apport is when a solid object suddenly appears out of nowhere, and the mediums would claim that they were being delivered from the spirit world to us humans. And the apports that Mrs. Guppy produced were legendary. She would cause flowers to rain down on people, and the flowers would still be cold and covered with morning dew. She would cause fruits that people were craving to suddenly appear in their hands. She would apport seawater and sand and live starfishes. She would apport snow. One time she caused 20 cactuses to drop down on the seance table in front of Princess Marguerite of Naples. Sometimes live lobsters and live eels would even appear at Mrs. Guppy's seances. However, the thing that Mrs. Guppy most famously apported was actually herself. In 1871, at a seance that she wasn't even attending, someone jokingly asked the spirits if they could cause Mrs. Guppy to appear, and 3 minutes later, there was a loud thump. They turned on the lights, and Mrs. Guppy was standing in the middle of the seance table, wearing her nightgown, totally motionless, seemingly in a trance. Very dramatic. When she finally came to, she explained that she had been at home working on household accounts when she had suddenly found herself in the seance room with no explanation. Now, of course, there were a lot of skeptics at the time who claimed that Mrs. Guppy was a fraud. She was famously parodied in this book cover by the magician John Neville Maskelyne. He was a debunker who went through the tricks that different mediums used. And in this picture, she's shown flying over London, carried by spirits, and one of the spirits is a bottle of liquor, aka a spirit. Very fun. However, for all of the criticism, Mrs. Guppy was never conclusively proven to be a fraud. That's it, that's Mrs. Guppy. I love her. Live eels! If you want to learn more about spiritualist mediums of the 19th century, you can pre-order my book, A Ghost in the Room, Supernatural Adventures in Canadian Historic Houses. It comes out on October 14th.